Welcome back once again, Vault Dwellers. Today we are at Murkwater Construction Sight, way down south in the marshes. And that dude just blipped into here from nowhere. Teleporter, must be a synth. Anyway, so yes, we are way down south. This is in the wetlands. Pretty much self-explanatory, like everywhere you go it's just water. Did something a little bit different this time. I know I say that in every video, but this time I went in a route that I've never really gone before, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about as we get into it. Special thank you to Jason Walsh 74, that's his username, for recommending the Wasteland Geck mod that allowed me to explore, or Commonwealth Geck, I'm sorry, that allows me to build way outside the borders. Even with the settlement extended mods, you still get limitations as to how far you can go, which is what I did initially with this one. And then once he recommended that one, I gave it a try, and this really lets you get the ultimate freedom to just keep building and building and building as far out as you want. Obviously, you're going to hit some sort of limitations. It's going to start to do some frame drops and all that, so do be careful with it, but let's go ahead and take a look. So as you can see, I have a perimeter wall here built entirely out of vehicles. When I looked at this site, to me it always looked more like a junkyard than anything, with rotting car frames all over the place. And so using the Place Anywhere tool, I basically merged all these things all into each other to create one big giant wall, which we'll see as we go along. So we have a side entrance here with a little sign. It says to please use the other gate. So they don't want us to use this gate. Of course, if we go around on the back, it calls people a bunch of idiots, but you're not supposed to see that one. This I built. This is an actual bridge. This normally, as you can see, sinks down in here, but I used another mod to give me road textures and whatnot. Big shout out to whoever it was that recommended that. I don't remember who you are off the top of your head, but a big thank you to you. That's an awesome mod, which I will put the listing in the listing, the name of what that mod is. So as you can see, we go along the path here, and again, there's our big wall going around the entire perimeter, and we have a little bridge leading us towards the entrance that the inhabitants of this place want us to use. And you'll see why as we get there. So as you can see, some big buildings in there. Everything here is has been built by me. So let's continue on. We got our little path leading us. And so using that Commonwealth Geck, I cleared out all of this land all out here. There were more trees and this and that, and I had to get rid of all that junk. There's a Place Anywhere tool I forgot to get rid of. Let's kind of make a game out of that. Pretty much every video you're gonna see one of those sticking around somewhere, so there you go. Take a shot for every time I leave behind a Place Anywhere tool. These are not Place Anywhere tools, they're just posts I put in the ground. And so here you can see again, please use the other gate, because we have yet another side gate here. So let's go ahead and go around and see what's going on with this other gate and why we're supposed to use this one. As you can see, we go across our little bridge right here, and then I put in another bridge here. This is actually a railroad cart. So we see our little welcome sign. And we open the door and boom, booby trap comes up, spikes right through the ground, and so now it says welcome to hell. So now the reason for this whole booby trap and these missile launchers here is because we are actually in hell, and right up there we have the meat factory. This is a raider settlement. My wife was a little disturbed by this one, and I knew I was on the right path when doing so, because the more I went with it, the more she said I was crazy. So into the wall, I put buses, and inside these buses I created homes. Each one's a little bit unique. Here's a couple of raider guards just hanging out, and some decorations. Now, I'm using a new scrapping mod. Again, I'm going to put that in the listing as to what it is. that will allow me to get rid of this house. The two that I normally use, STS and S.C.R.A.P, couldn't let me get rid of this, but now I have a new one that actually would have, but it was already too late. I'd already rebuilt the house, basically using the Place Anywhere tool to kind of fill that in. So here again we have another bus, you know, beds, couches, stoves, so on and so forth. Little bridges all throughout this community here. A couple of generators. Again, I don't even really need them. I have these fuse boxes that power things, and actually did put these telephone poles in and ran cables all over the place. So these telephone poles and wires are actually powering the entire settlement, all from that little fuse box up there. I do have a new mod as well, Electrical Overhaul, I think it's called. I think Jason recommended that one as well. I think that's the one that allows me to put a wireless fuse box that powers the entire place, but I could be getting my mods mixed up. So again, another bus over in here. And I tried to do something new and different in every video to showcase you guys and teach you different ways of doing things. So in here, we have a suspended house. I put a couple of cranes in that have some cables and hooks, and a suspended house, so to speak, right up here in the air. So let's go ahead and take a look inside this one. So we open the door, and here's our security system. A couple of mannequins that are going to try and stab you. So again, this is a raider settlement, so you know these guys are pretty whacked in the head. But that's definitely a good security system there. And so again, I built bridges all over the place because this is wetland and water is everywhere. Put some lights down here to help light the walkway. And this one leads over again to another bus. And you know, same thing, got a couch and a bed and so on and so forth. And you can really start to see my wall as well, where I just mashed like everything together in here. You got trailers, cars, buses, train parts, pretty much everything that I could manage to find in vehicle building materials. Even threw a little rowboat in here. And got another bridge here. These are built using the railroad carts again. Now, here's a little warning when you're using the Place Anywhere tool. You can see I got some weeds floating in the air here. Sometimes when you put the tool down and activate it, it looks like you're not grabbing something. You can actually be grabbing something, and so that's what can happen. And then there's no way to fix that, no way to get rid of them. So this is permanently stuck here, and nothing I can do about that. So if you're using the Place Anywhere tool and you think you're picking something up, but it doesn't look like you are, just pick it up and hold it way up in the air, and that'll let you know whether or not you're picking up weeds. So here we have another house. Little gorilla chair there, some whack paintings, and got one of these guys again. So yeah, I tried to, like I said, do a raider settlement. And got a nice little feral ghoul chair. These guys are pretty disturbed, but you haven't even seen the worst of it yet. So we're going along here, and we have another giant building here. I'm saving the meat factory for last. This is water production. Obviously, we've got plenty of water, but you know, it needs to be purified. I don't even think the raiders want to drink all that nasty water. So, colored lights, I threw those in here to kind of light everything up in red as much as I could. Again, this is supposed to sort of, I guess, resemble hell. So let's go ahead and take a look at the meat factory and see what is going on in here. So inside here we got a couple of raider guards, some tanning hides, a trough full of blood, a giant cauldron, some shopping carts filled with body parts and so on and so forth, and we have a conveyor system. So, what is going on up there? So as you can see, the conveyor system goes from down there, brings things up here onto the belt, and thanks to Bethesda, these are not running. They should be, but for whatever reason the animation's broke. But anyway, the conveyors come around here, and dump it down there and into the machine. So in case you haven't figured out what the heck is going on here, these guys are cannibals. As you come inside the train cart over there, the booby trap is set. It kills you. They drag your dead bodies into here, and they cook and eat you. So you go from there into here and into the cauldron. And I wanted to have this conveyor system actually work and do stuff. I can physically put things in here and the conveyor system takes it in there, but it won't transport it up. I did not know that everything has to actually go into the whole transfer thing like this. I was very, very saddened because I wanted to throw dead bodies in here. That's actually the wrong modification. That's another mod that instead of throwing grenades, it throws workshops. Let me see if I can find the right one here. I've got way too many weapons, but I'm sure you can all relate to that one. There we go. Spawn settler grenades. So initially I had taken dead bodies and tried to force feed them into here, and ran upstairs waiting for them to pop up, and they never did. And I was very saddened by that. Then I found out that you can't just pick something up and throw them in there, or throw it in there and have it go up. It has to actually be put into the inventory before it goes up there. I was showcasing this to my wife right after I built it, and I shoved a body in there, and then I ran up there and stood up there for 5 minutes waiting for it to come up, and it never did. So that was a huge letdown there. But yeah, so this is the meat factory. Let me show you a few more little tidbits that I put into this here. So I made smokestacks to let off the smell of the dead burning bodies. For all I know, that could smell like hamburgers, so maybe that helps attract people. Who the heck knows? So you can see the smokestack goes all the way up through the ceiling. I made a secondary smokestack. Didn't really know what to do with this one, so I just kind of stuck a junk mortar in here. Maybe they shoot stuff up in the air to try and get people's attention. We have another vat, large storage containers way up in here, and there's the smokestacks. So what I did with this is I put a bunch of fire up here, so that if you're looking at it from just the right angle, it looks like the smokestacks are actually functioning and doing something. And so there you have it. This is Murkwater Construction Sight, which has now become hell. This is a raider settlement for some really nasty cannibal dudes. And if you've ever been to this place, you know that it rains all the time, so there was nothing I could really do about the weather. And hopefully you guys have been able to see everything that I've been trying to showcase. And actually it looks like my thing malfunctioned, but whatever. It still worked for the one last time. Up here we also have little security booth. There's supposed to be another guy up here, but you know, Bethesda, for all I know, he's probably glitched inside one of these trailers here. But yes, I used, as I said, the Place Anywhere tool to build these walls and put it all together. This was extremely time consuming, so if you want to do this type of thing, plan on it taking quite a while to get these all to look as naturally as I possibly could, so that all the gaps are filled in and things aren't pushed into each other too much, so that it looks fake. Like I said, it takes quite a long time. Excuse me, stuttering a little there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. If you have a request for a site that you want to see me build, or a type of theme, just leave it there in the comments, and I will be happy to help. I hope you enjoyed the meat factory. Don't get irradiated.